Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome to another exciting episode of Shark News, as today we're going to be doing another update as everything we know so far for G.I. Joe Classified. And before I begin this episode, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking the videos. It's been a crazy, hefty last week, as we know that it was all talks about the Haslab crowdfunding, and that was probably the greatest, I guess you can say, anticipation for G.I. Joe Classified, because it started off extremely slow, and then it just ended up surpassing all tiers, and then next thing you know, it was funded. So that was probably the highlight of my week. But after a few days off, here we are back again with some G.I. Joe Classified goodness. So to start things off in this video, and these are basically the upcoming figures or leaks, prototypes, and name only so far. We know that we have the latest names that were revealed during San Diego Comic-Con, which we now officially have Night Viper, Lifeline, Hit and Run, Big Lob, and ICEBERG. So we know that ICEBERG will accompany the Haslab Snowcat. We know that Big Lob will be completing the G.I. Joe 87 movie roster that includes Tunnel Rat, Law and Order, Jinx, roughly Falcon, and who else am I missing? That's probably it. Oh, and Chuckles. So that will complete that 87 roster, even though Chuckles hasn't really been the cartoon version, but I'm sure we'll get him down the line. But seeing Big Lob, as we haven't seen him since I think 2016, and we've never gotten an original O-ring version of Big Lob, this makes it a pretty big deal because, again, it's Big Lob. If you know him, he's a pretty funny and cool character. Then we have Hit and Run, and we know that his accessories are going to be, and hopefully be, really awesome. You know, he comes with a bag, he comes with a parachute. He looks very similar to the Halo jumper, so I won't be surprised if they reuse the mold for that one, but otherwise Hit and Run is a really awesome character. Then we have Lifeline, and we know that according to the artwork that they used, it's Lifeline in the red outfit. And Lifeline is a really awesome character. He has a lot of great accessories, so hopefully Classified shouldn't do anything short but great for this figure. And we do know that Lifeline will be reused and return again in Tiger Force scheme, so we know that Lifeline is a Tiger Force character as well. And then we have the big enchilada, which is Night Viper, who's going to be my favorite Cobra character to really be heavily eyed on, because again, it's my favorite Cobra character and I want to see how great this figure is going to turn out. So I'm so damn excited for Night Viper, and I cannot wait to see how they either do great justice to it or they're going to disappoint me. I don't know. And then we have the upcoming listings for TAURUS and Red Dog, which is supposedly a 2-pack, and then we have the Flash figure, which we haven't heard since Yojo June, which was listed as a leaked as a listing. Therefore Flash will also, you know, be coinciding with the original 13 G.I. Joe characters, and we'll get more to that in a future live stream and video. But for now, that's going to be exciting, because we know that there's 2 other G.I. Joe Classified characters that are coming, that are part of the original 13, that are coming soon for pre-order. So that's, you know, so we're almost close to completing the original 13. So like I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, the Haslab Snowcat has officially been funded in slightly the slowest time frame, and it makes it the slowest funded Haslab project to date, but all tiers have been funded, so congratulations to everybody who has backed it. You will now be receiving your Snowcat, Frostbite, and Arctic Flint, and Lady J, as well as the BIVOUC, all for $325. So we've already talked so much about this Haslab for the past week, and my brain is basically fried. And since we have till 2026, I honestly don't think there's anything else to share about this particular Haslab other than latest rumors and latest speculations is that we might be getting a Haslab, or not, sorry, we might be getting an Arctic Hiss tank. So that should be extremely exciting, because according to Emily, she did state that inside the promotion for the Haslab, there's supposedly an Easter egg or teaser for something to come in the future that Cobra Commander says. Therefore, everyone is pointing towards an Arctic his tank, which kind of makes sense because since in the latest G.I. Joe post, they said that there's going to, not necessarily going to be, but we know that they're going to add in a lot more Arctic characters, and the theme might be the theme of moving forward from 2025 all the way up until fall of 26 might be an Arctic blast. Therefore, that should be exciting. So we'll see more with what happens here, because they also did a poll. Tony from Instagram did a poll about what future characters you want to see in the Arctic sub-team. Therefore, they're going to probably heavily promote this. So now it might cause FOMO. It might not. For those who didn't back it, will not be enticed by it by one bit. But for those who might kick themselves in the ass later on, who knows what might happen, because depending on what characters they're going to release later on. So we know that they did reverse marketing for this, but otherwise, it's pretty cool to see that this is the 5th successful G.I. Joe Classified Haslab campaign to date. Technically the 4th classified if you exclude the Haslab Sky Striker from the O-Ring, which lost 1 tier in funding, but other than that, the G.I. Joe team has been 5 successful Haslabs, so that's freaking awesome. And yeah, other than that, we have till 2026, so I'm sure we will have some updates moving forward later down in the year, but otherwise, we've already talked a lot about these figures in the past 2 months since Yo Joe June, so nothing really too much else to say there. Next, we have the police officer, and we have no idea what the heck is going on with this figure, so don't really have anything to say about this other than maybe one day, not sure. We know that the figure has been completed. It's done. We have official photography for the figure. It was supposed to go up for pre-order during the time frame of Sergeant Slaughter, Mercer, and I believe Slice and Dice. I think it was around that time. I don't remember. But here we are. This and it's like August. August is almost coming to an end. And here we are with no word on the police officer. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe he won't be released. Maybe he is. We don't know. So we guess we'll come back to this guy. And at the moment, he's probably the most mysterious and maybe rarest G.I. Joe classified figure to date, just because a lot of people want him and we have no idea where he is. So we'll come back to this guy at some point. Next, we have Ghost Viper. And Ghost Viper was already released, or should I say teased during, or showcased during San Diego Comic-Con. So I already did a live stream talking about this figure. So we've seen like the official product shot already. And this Ghost Viper will coincide with Crystal Ball. As you can see, that it has a lot of translucent effects and alternate head sculpts and other animals to go alongside this figure. And the head sculpt is really awesome. I love that new head sculpt. He also contains a Viper head sculpt as well with like a skull deco on it. And then he comes with a wolf head sculpt and a snake head sculpt, which you can add on to the actual figure. And we've seen the display from Comic-Con where the head sculpts kind of ride a little bit too high on the figure, so that I'm not really a fan of that too much. However, aesthetically, with all the effects and the animals and just the accessories that he comes with, it's an awesome figure. And if you own Crystal Ball, if Walmart hasn't canceled your figure yet, the colors are all in unison with Crystal Ball, so the fact that this kind of goes hand in hand as an army builder to Crystal Ball, that's freaking sick. So that's what I like about this figure, is that the color schemes work well with Crystal Ball and with all these translucent effects, and even you can see all those extra alternate hands and I love it. This is a really cool brand new created character for Crystal Ball in terms of army building. So it should be a great one to own if you haven't gotten your Crystal Ball canceled. Otherwise, Crystal Ball has been shown up in Walmarts here and there in specific regions in store. As we know that Hasbro has been doing a new display at Walmart, so I personally haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people have, so that's cool. Otherwise, we'll see what happens, but this new head sculpt, again, as we see here, fantastic. I love it and can't wait to see when this guy will go for pre-order, but he seems more like a Halloween aesthetic, so I'm sure probably sometime by October. Next, we have Shortfuse and Stealer. So this is a new 2-pack to kind of coincide with the original 13 G.I. Joes, which is a welcoming addition because we know that Flash was listed as a leak. So with these two being a 2-pack, obviously this will be 100% needed for all classified collectors. We know it's going to be a great one. The only thing that's going to be very troublesome is that it has been stated that this will be a Target exclusive. Now, some people have saying that they haven't officially announced it's a Target exclusive, but a lot of people who attended Comic-Con stated it's a Target exclusive. Therefore, for now, we'll just say it's a Target exclusive. I love all the accessories. I love the color greens they used for it. I love the fire effects, which we've already seen numerous times in other figures. They both each come with individual helmets. And yeah, their weapons are pretty cool. They were also shown on display during San Diego Comic-Con, so nothing too new to say here other than we are almost done and completed with the original 13, and we'll talk more about these in a future episode, but for now, both figures look great, welcoming addition, and for those who want the OG 13, your dreams are coming true. It just absolutely sucks that it's a Target exclusive. We know how terrible Target is with canceling pre-orders and barely stocking any figures. And if they were to stock, I know for me, in my Target, I don't see figures until like half a year down the line. So chances are I probably won't even see this. Who knows? But I know for you guys who actively hunt and search, maybe you might get more luckier than other people. But for now, this will be probably the most hard-hitting 2-pack to hit Target to date in terms of G.I. Joe Classified. So I'm sure I'll be sure to have more updates in the future, but for now, best of luck to all of you who are excited and eager to get this 2-pack, because it's definitely not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. And we know that they will be on Hasbro Pulse as well, but that's always limited stock anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be a shit show, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Next, we have Pythona, which was also released during San Diego Comic-Con, an extreme surprise and welcoming addition to the G.I. Joe Classified line. Now, Cobra Law only consists of 5 characters, technically 3. Globulus, the Royal Guard, 4. Globulus, the Royal Guard, Pythona, and 3. Sorry, because I was thinking of Serpentor and Once-A-Man Cobra Commander. Not really Serpentor, Once-A-Man Cobra Commander. So anyway, so like 4 characters. So otherwise, this pretty much knocks out 3 out of 4. So the last remaining character will be Globulus, which is a pretty exciting one. So chances are Globulus may come somewhere down in the future, at least by next year with the Royal Guard. So that's exciting. One thing I did want to share that I didn't realize that she comes with I believe that's the pink gem that she used in the movie when she was talking to Zartan. So that's cool. Now, according to Preternia.com, he shared that that the estimated release date for this figure will be fall this fall 2025, and it's speculated, at least at the time of making this video, it will be around the New York Comic-Con and London's MCM Comic-Con, or whatever that's called, the Manchester one. And obviously they'll have limited stock on Hasbro Pulse, but because we've seen the common trend of these characters like Once-A-Man Cobra Commander and Nemesis Immortal Enforcer, we know that collectors have been sharing how much they hate Cobra Law, yet these figures have been selling out like hotcakes. Whether you want to resell them or you're just into the hype of figures because they're highly in demand, we know 100% she's going to sell out. She looks absolutely incredible. Everything about it is just fantastic. So we know she's going to be another hard figure to get, and it's going to be another shit show. So it looks like we're going to end the year with quite a bang when it comes to G.I. Joe Classified figures. Otherwise, I'll have more updates whenever we get an official announcement or release date, but till then, keep in touch with the channel and we'll see what happens with Pythona. But great addition into the line. And before we conclude the episode, here is all the figures in terms of render or actual product form. Of course, we have the 3 Haslab Snowcat figures, Arctic, Flint, Lady J, and Frostbite. Then we have Stealer and Shortfuse, which is the Target exclusive 2-pack. We have Ghost Viper, Pythona, and then we have the police officer from the Legacy series. So it's a pretty slower, should I say, not too much going on here, because we know that the 3 figures on the left, the Arctic ones, will be released next year, fall 2026. So we have a whole year for that. As for the remaining figures, aside from the police officer, we know that we should see these released sometime by fall. So we can knock probably these 4 out of the way unless they reveal more new digital renders and names and product shots. But that's all we have so far at the moment. And then before we conclude this video, here are the, at least from what I can think of and remember, the final events for 2025 before we conclude for vacation from Thanksgiving and Christmas. We still have PulseCon, which is Hasbro's PulseCon event, which is one of the biggest PulseCon events of the year. So we know, and there's no date at the moment, but I'm assuming sometime in September. So we should see more new G.I. Joe Classified reveals, renders, and name announcements. So that's going to be exciting. And that's kind of like slightly, I mean, Comic-Con is great, but PulseCon is specifically catered to Hasbro. So that's like their WrestleMania for all you wrestling fans. Then we have Target's Fall Geek Out event for the for the 2-pack for Stealer and Shortfuse, which will be sometime in August and September. But since we're close to ending August, we should see them in September. Then we have New York City Comic-Con, which is October 9th through 12th. So looks like October is going to be a pretty hard-hitting day for the wallet. So we know that Pythona is supposedly going to be up for pre-order during New York Comic-Con. So we'll see what happens there. And then the MCM London, again, involving Pythona, we should see her release there as well. But the date for that at the moment, from what I've seen, is October 24th through October 26th. And if you guys remember from the past 2 years, MCM London, their Comic-Con, they always reveal new digital renders and figure pre-orders. So we should see something new there as well. And then we have the last event of the year, and I could be wrong. If there's any more, let me know in the comments below. But then we have the last remaining video of the last remaining show of the year, which is Hasbro's 1027 event, which is of course October 27th, which will be the G.I. Joe big send-off before the year concludes until we hit 2026, and that's where we have more new pre-orders, reveals, digital renders, and a lot more. So if I missed any, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, these are the last 5 remaining shows that I can think of at the top of my head, and should be a great year. So other than that, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next episode and in the next live stream. So thank you once again, and I hope you find this video good enough for you to like and subscribe if you're new. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.